Morning is all about the purpose of prayer. The purpose of prayer. The text, the talk, the takeaway. That's the order we're going to go in. Here is the text, Matthew 6 and 8. Let me tell you a little bit about it before I share it with you. Here is Jesus. He is teaching the disciples all about the things that he needs them to understand with a new twist on the law, with an understanding of who he is, the Beatitudes he's going in. And he raises the issue of what is so important in the life of a believer, prayer. And he says these words to the disciples, Matthew 6 and 8, for your Father knows what you need before you ask. Your Father knows, your Heavenly Father knows what you need before you ever ask. Now, in the context of this, what Jesus is saying to them, that he points to the publicans and says to them, look at how they pray with the wonderful flowery words, how they rock back and forth, how they want everybody to see them praying. Jesus says, look, and we're going to break it down this whole week because you're going to get prayer through. By the end of this week, the objective is that you're not only going to be able to pray in a whole more effective way, but you're going to get your prayers answered guaranteed. Now, listen to what Jesus says to them. He breaks out this revelation that just rocks my world even today. He says to them, look, God already knows what you need before you ask. Raises the question, then, why ask? If you know what I need, God, why do we got to go through this whole thing? If you know what I need, God, deliver, please. If you know what I need, why do I have to go through this whole thing, this ritual, this routine, this thing that wears me out called prayer? Here's the purpose of prayer. Let me tell you the very first thing. The very first thing is to get you in a conversation of agreement. I want you to write that down. It is to get you in a conversation of agreement. It is God saying, I need you to pray according to what I have for you in your life that is found in the Word, that is found in the Word. It is not for you to get what you want. Jot that down and put that in your spirit. Get that deep down. Let that marinate. Prayer is not to get what you want, but it is to get you in a conversation of agreement with God. The second thing is this. It is to get your undivided attention. It is to get your undivided attention. I want you to get this now because it's very important by the end of the week. And you know, my very first book was on prayer. Prayer Answers Guaranteed. It's an old book. It's still in publication. Go to Amazon and get it or go to my website. But I'm not here to sell my book. I'm here to help you pray and get answers to your prayer. Now, the first thing I said, it is to get you in agreement, a conversation of agreement with God. The second thing is to get your undivided attention. God is saying, look, I already know what you have need of, but what I need you to do more than anything else is to get your undivided attention. Now, as parents, many of us watching right now are parents. It just fills your heart with joy when your children sit before you and you have their full undivided attention. I don't care how old they are. My daughter's in her 30s. My son is 29. And I will tell you, this weekend was fantastic. In as much as we were together, I had their undivided attention. My son just left for work. You know, he's moving out and everything. He's getting himself together, moving some things, graduated from seminary, all of those pieces. Now, what I need you to get is that before he left, he said, you know what? We got to have our weekly conversation. And now that I've graduated, we can do it at any time. I'm going to have his what? Undivided attention. That's what prayer is about. One of the purposes of prayer is for God to have your undivided attention. It's a love conversation when both of you all are completely engaged with one another on an issue of agreement. The third thing is this. It is to get you in position. The purpose of prayer, and we're going to be dealing with it all week, hang in there the whole week, is to get you in position. Now, when Jesus says this to them, they are in Jerusalem. They are observing the prayers of the publican, how they are so flowery language and all of that. And Jesus is saying to them, look, that's not what it's all about. They are standing. Jesus says, kneel. When you see the scriptures talking about Jesus praying, more often than not, he's kneeling. More often than not. When he's in the mountains, when he's praying, it is to get you in a position. What is the deal about the position? The position has a sense of humility. A sense of humility. I remember this, and I'll share this story, and then I'll give you the takeaway. The text to talk, the takeaway. I remember when I pledged my fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi. You see it over my shoulder there, and when I pledged my fraternity, I remember when I crossed the sands. When I crossed the sands, and they made me say certain things. But I couldn't say them with my head up. I had to say them with my head down to show some humility about the moment. I couldn't say certain things with my head up. Couldn't look at them, even though I had just crossed. I had to show humility and drop my head. Jesus is saying that one of the purposes of prayer is to get you in a position of humility. It's to get you in a position of humility. We're going to be dealing with it all week long. Know that this is all about you not only getting a prayer through praying, but getting your answers to the prayer. Now, what's the takeaway this morning? The takeaway is this. The purpose of prayer begins with God's purpose for your life. The purpose of prayer begins with God's purpose for your life. It's all about prayer this week. The Lord be with you today. May his face shine upon you. Give you peace. Share the manna. Share the manna. Don't keep it to yourself. And I'll see you tomorrow morning with more morning manna. God bless you. Bye now.